Question 17, well done to a few of you who've got this. For those of you who didn't, I'm going to go through really carefully how you can make sure that you don't make mistakes with it. Okay? And that is, we've got some of these values filled in. We need to get the rest filled in. Now here's what I would recommend. Instead of just trying to work it all out in your head and keep everything in your head, I'm going to split it into the three separate parts. So this y equals x squared minus 4x minus 2, well, I just want you to see how it works. So if x was 1, then 1 squared would be 1. Take away 4 times 1, I'd be down to minus 3. Take away 2, it gets me to minus 5. Now, in order to not make mistakes, you can set out a little grid for yourself and break this down into its component parts, into its individual parts. So if I think about x squared, so I've got the x squared bit, I've got the minus 4x bit, and I've got the take away 2 bit. And then I'm going to do that for the values that I need to work with. So I need to do minus 1, I need to do 2, and I need to do 3. And if I just break it down like this, it's going to make it easier for me to avoid mistakes. So x squared minus 1 squared. Well, minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1. Be careful with that. Minus 4 times by minus 1. Again, with the negatives, you've got to be really careful. Minus 4 times by minus 1 is actually plus 4. So it's another plus 4. And then I'm going to take away 2. Now this doesn't have any x component, so it's always going to be take away 2. It's not take away 2 times by any amount of x. And then I'm going to take 2. 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 times by 2, so that's minus 8. And then I've got 3. 3 squared is 9. Minus 4 times by 3 is going to be minus 12. Now, what's going to go here is basically the sum of all these, because if I put all these together, I get x squared minus 4x minus 2. So that comes in at 1 plus 4 is 5, take away 2 is 3. 4, take away 8 is minus 4, take away another 2 is minus 6. And 9, take away 12 is minus 3, take away another 2 is minus 5. So I'm just going to fill in these, so I should have 3 there, minus 6 here, and minus 5 here. Now, guys, you can kind of see a symmetry to this around this point. These two are the same, these two are the same, these two are the same. And that is correct. If you guys have a quadratic graph, remember it's a U shape if it's a positive quadratic. It's a kind of a hill shape if it's a negative quadratic. But I need to plot it. If your plotting does not make a nice smooth U shape and it's a quadratic graph, you know you've done something wrong, and you need to think again about maybe you've made a mistake with the positives and the negatives. So I'm going to plot this. The point minus 1, 3 is here. Minus 1, 3. The point 0, minus 2. 0, minus 2. The point 1, minus 5. 1, minus 5. The point 2, minus 6. 2, minus 6. The point 3, minus 5. 3, minus 5. The point 4, minus 2. 4, minus 2. And the point 5, 3, 5, and 3. I can see that it forms a very nice U shape, and therefore it must be correct. My last thing is, I must join it up with a nice smooth curve. If you joined it up straight lines, you've thrown away marks. So, you would do this with a pencil. I'm going to do it with a pen, so I may make a mistake. If you're doing it with a pencil, then you'll be able to rub it out. But I'm going to try as hard as I can to do a nice smooth curve. You'll lose marks if that's not a nice smooth curve. This would be good enough. Right, use your graph to estimate the values of x when y equals minus 3. So far we've got 2 marks for this part. We've now got another 2 marks for this part. My last part, use the graph to estimate the values of x when y equals 3. Here's my y-axis. and I want to know the values of x when y equals minus 3. I nearly misread that. In fact, I did misread it, and I needed to double check it for myself. When y equals minus 3. Okay, so when y equals minus 3 is here. So I'm going to draw the line of y equals minus 3. That's the line of y equals minus 3. So what values of x correspond to when y equals minus 3? I need to go up here and see what that would be. I need to go up here and see what that would be. And I get here, this is just 3 little squares along, so I get 0.3, and this is 3 less than 4, so that's going to be 3.7. And that will give me my 6 marks.